Coming up on The Local Traveler, we visit a small eastern Kentucky city that was founded in 1842 and named after state politician C. White. Full of small-town charm, the city also offers big-town taste. Don't miss this delicious episode of farm-to-table burgers, craft beers, and Appalachian tradition. I'm sure it'll be music to your ears, and it's all coming up on The Local Traveler. Quaintly tucked away in the heart of Letcher County sits Whitesburg, Kentucky. Rich in mountain culture, this Appalachian city is home to just under 2,000 people. Although small in size, the area is big in heart and heritage. Each year, the city presents a Mountain Heritage Festival, which proudly promotes its people by showcasing various craft demonstrations. It's been called one of Kentucky travel industry's top festivals to visit. The city is also home to Apple Shop, which is a media, arts, and education center committed to documenting and revitalizing the lasting traditions of Appalachia. Whitesburg not only embraces its Appalachian heritage, but also the call to go local. One such business is the Thirsty Heifer at 127 Main Street, where they promise an utterly good time. And they feel confident making this promise because of their commitment to keep it real. They offer really good burgers and really good beer and say that keeping it really simple is their secret to success. They stand behind their motto of fresh, local, better. I'm here today at the Thirsty Heifer, and I'm talking with the owner, Tyler Ward. Thanks for having us out today.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming down to Whitesburg.
We're so excited to be in Whitesburg, and actually, it's kind of a welcoming home for you too, right? You've come back recently.
I did. I've been back in Whitesburg about a year. I went to law school in the Northeast in Vermont and spent about 5 years there between school and then working there for a few years. So when I came back, and I needed a place that I could get good beer and good food, and the place that formerly occupied this space had closed, and I thought, well, instead of complaining about it, just open a great craft beer place.
Well, and it's been very well received in the community. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I think people really are responding.
Yeah, I believe people in the mountains deserve just as nice things as anywhere else in the world. So some folks were sort of skeptical that we could sell high-end craft beer or high-end imported beer here, but to all the naysayers, I can show them how many kegs we've ordered. So.
Well, you've proven the beer definitely is resonating, but also the food too. I mean, you're using a lot of local ingredients.
Absolutely. So all of the beef we use comes from JSW Farms in McGoffin County. That's all fresh. Actually, just before you all got here, they made the meat delivery for the week. So that's all fresh, never frozen. Basically, all the meat that we have, with the exception of the prosciutto and the salmon, is local.
Well, yeah, and you're doing other local things too. I know that your eggs and sometimes farmers market things.
Absolutely. We sort of opened at the end of the growing season, so we're actually partnering with multiple local farmers to produce our produce.
Well, and you guys have something kind of cool here too. You have a build your own burger bar, right?
Exactly. So we do a few signature burgers that we prepare some of the ingredients in the bag, but otherwise all of our customers are free to add any toppings or sauces or vegetables to their burgers.
Do you have some culinary standouts or just some really popular favorites that people seem to order a lot?
I think probably the blue cheese and prosciutto burger is one of the biggest sellers, as well as the picante pepper burger. And I by no means am a chef. I'm lucky to do ramen noodles, but I did come up with the picante pepper burger, and so it's actually stuffed with pepper jack cheese, so the cheese is cooked inside of the meat. And then it's topped with fresh jalapenos and a secret spicy sauce. So it's not overly powerful, but it's enough to sort of wake your tongue up a bit.
So these are not like prepackaged stuff. I mean, you're making things right here.
Exactly. When at all possible, we make everything from scratch. So our ranch dressing is made with real dill. It's the real deal, unintended, but I think sort of brings out the flavor more.
I know you've got a lot of things on your menu. I've seen fish, and you've got steak, and you have the burgers, and you also have fries, and these fries are kind of special.
Yes, we hand cut all of our fries to order, then we double fry them in a beef tallow. So part of that sort of makes it extra crunchy without making it too hard. And then we have 4 house crafted seasonings. So we use the house heifer seasoning, Indian seasoning, Italian, and hot and spicy.
I'm excited to try some of these fries. Do you think we could sample a few?
Absolutely.
Although good quality local foods certainly play a big part in the success of the Thirsty Heifer, I can't help but notice how they also go the extra mile. For instance, the buns are made fresh daily, the meat is never frozen, And their milkshakes are hand-spun. Even their Coke products are special. They're the ones made with real cane sugar. And did I mention the fries? No, that sounds like something that might need a little further investigation.
Tyler, this is where all the magic happens. I mean, we're back here in the kitchen and it's actually beautiful. You've got a beautiful window and some really cool equipment. But the thing I'm the most excited about are the fries.
The fries, which are you most anxious to try?
Well, I was going to ask you, what's your favorite? And actually tell us a little bit about each one.
Sure. Well, I would have to say probably my favorite is the Indian, because that's pretty much one of the only things on the menu that I can take culinary credit for.
Okay.
But so that has some cumin and turmeric and curry, but it's not spicy. Mm-hmm. Then we have the heifer seasoning, which is several different types of peppercorns and multiple types of salts. Don't want to tell everything that's in it.
Well, sure, of course, yeah. Some trade secrets.
Exactly. And then we have an Italian one, which is sort of probably the least least spicy, if you will. Mm-hmm. And the hot and spicy fries. So if you want the Holy Ghost pepper burger and you want to light your mouth up, then I would suggest going with the hot and spicy fries.
Yeah, I'm sure there are some that go better with others. Like with a steak, the peppercorn one probably goes really well.
Yeah, and probably I have to give my father some deference. He came up with the heifer seasoning, so it's probably the best one. It's multi-dimensional, but I occasionally have to brag on my Indian.
Sure, I love Indian food, and I actually love spicy food, so I'm excited to try them.
Okay, absolutely. Well, try the Indian first.
Okay. Thank you.
So you get the Indian taste without any type of sort of...
Yeah, there's no pop of heat, but there's depth of flavor.
Yeah, good. That's an excellent way of saying it.
That was really good. Honestly, you could put just about anything on these fries and they're gonna taste amazing because of the beef tallow and just you can tell they're just fresh, hand cut. I mean, they are awesome.
Those fries are the real deal. And with their other menu showstoppers like the grilled salmon salad, Holy Ghost pepper burger, and ribeye steak sandwich, you might think this dinner train has already left the station. But there's a whole lot more to raise your glass to, and it's all coming up after the break. Today we're visiting a farm-to-table restaurant at the base of Pine Mountain in Whitesburg, Kentucky. The Thirsty Heifer sits among many historic buildings along Main Street, which were built between 1914 and 1925. Keeping with the theme of historic preservation, this downtown gastropub uses handmade tables from reclaimed wood and has an area they named the Pasture to reflect their strong partnership with local farmers and the Kentucky Proud program. All of their beef comes from JSW Farms in West Liberty, Kentucky, and their free-range eggs from Fraser Farm. The farm-to-table movement has been a real benefit to the business owner, the customer, and the farmer.
I'm talking with Doc Fraser of Fraser Farms, and you supply all the wonderful eggs here at the Thirsty Heifer.
I do. Actually, with these guys and some other restaurants in farmers market and local individuals all over the place, and so right now we're doing about 70 dozen a week. So, yeah.
Well, and what are the difference, like with really fresh farm eggs? I think people maybe don't understand the difference between just something they may get in a very industrialized way at their grocery store versus the eggs you're distributing.
There's a handful of things. It's a very noticeable difference. As soon as you open the egg, it's very noticeable. Of course, these are brown eggs, and so brown eggs tend to have a dark yolk, and so, but when you open them up, the yolk is much darker, it's a lot richer. It tastes differently. And the vitamin D content, the vitamin E content is better. And these are non-cage raised, and free range. And so, if you go to the grocery store, that's the high price stuff. And and so, they're high end actually, even though they're locally produced, they're really high end quality eggs.
Well, I know there's been this great movement towards local and buying local and kind of getting more into agriculture. And I know your farm, you open it up to school-aged kids, right, to come out?
We've got this coming season. We're sort of into it. We were planting crops today, but we've got kindergarten schools that are coming over to visit the farm. And on the farm we have hair sheep, and we have goats, milk goats, and we have heritage chickens, and we have heritage turkeys. And then I have a shiitake project that, mushrooms that
they're so good. Yeah.
these guys are interested in, and other folks in the area. And so we got that kind of stuff going, plus all the produce out of the fields and that kind of thing.
But it must be rewarding for you to come to a place like Thirsty Heifer and see all your blood, sweat, and tears and these eggs being utilized in such wonderful ways. I hear the burger that they use your eggs on it's pretty phenomenal.
Well, a local person here in town, he said, I ate one of those burgers, and he said, you are not going to believe how good that was. And you know what? I just felt really good about that.
Yeah.
I contributed to that.
In addition to strong ties to area farmers, the Thirsty Heifer also has connections to the farmers market in an effort to use as much local produce as possible. And there's no better way to wash all of this farm-to-table food down than with one of their 16 premium craft and imported beers. So Tyler, we've talked a lot about your foods that are all delicious, but part of the reason you opened this place was because of all the drinks that you could offer. Talk to me about some of these standouts.
Absolutely. Probably our most popular beer is Kronenbourg 1664. So it's from France. It's a Vienna lager, and it really sells well. I think that the distributor was pretty impressed that folks here would drink it. And I know a few times we've had the only kegs in the state, so.
Oh yeah, well that's true. I mean, you're a beer connoisseur, you know about all these different beers from all these different parts of the world really, and you've got one lineup behind you that has a real global kind of feel to it, then you've got one that has kind of more of a local or regional. It must be fun to be the beer selector.
Yeah, no, it's definitely fun to be able to sort of anticipate what folks want, and while at the same time sometimes inserting my own preferences there, so that's...
Sure, research is half the fun, right?
Yeah, research and development, it's a great business expense.
Well, and how have people responded to that? I'm sure there are different beers that they've never heard of before that are being offered here.
Absolutely. Several of the premium imported beers, you have to drive to Lexington or Cincinnati or Louisville to even find them, so I think that's something unique too. Even if they're not special in Italy or France, they're special here. And as far as the American craft beers go, really there's a larger variation of taste. So anywhere from IPAs to American Pale Ales to stouts. And what I've found interesting is that a lot of people here, what's sold really well are a lot of darker beers, which is sort of surprising. I started out with 2 and now I keep 4 on tap. So I don't know if the palate here is more oriented towards a maltier taste, but that seems to be one of the things that sells a little better.
Well, it's probably getting to try all of this. It's something where as you're exposed to it, your palate develops, and so.
Sure.
You've done them a beer service.
Yeah, exactly. And we do flights, so you can come and choose 4, and it's a way to do it without really being out too much money.
Well, I'm sure one of the things that goes really well with a cold beer is live music. And you offer that too, right?
We do. We try to partner with different local artists so that way when they come here, it's a direct benefit to them and the business. I don't charge a cover fee or anything like that. So when they come, it's really just an added benefit to the guests who are dining with us that evening. And so I'm really excited to be able both to add to the dining experience and provide an outlet for local artists.
The quality of the musicians match the food and drink here at the Thirsty Heifer. Tonight we're treated to the musical stylings of Randy Wilson, a hammer dulcimer player who's also an accomplished songwriter and performer. This skillful musician works by day at the Hyman Settlement School, where he's the Folk Arts Education Program Director. The school, which was founded in 1902, has long provided education opportunities for people of the mountains while keeping them mindful of their heritage. There's no doubt that Whitesburg makes a habit of celebrating its heritage, and I can think of no better way to do that than by listening to Appalachian music, dining on a farm-to-table meal at a table made of reclaimed wood. Make sure and add the Thirsty Heifer to your local travelers list.